Hello. Sorry for the delay, y'all. But we here now. Time for some wrestling. Talk some Fed business. A lot of firings, a lot of pink slips. A lot of freshly fireds coming up tonight. Sad to say for some, others make all the sense in the world, in my humble opinion, considering the direction that those characters were or were not going. We'll talk about it. Put you guys in here, and then we'll go ahead and get things going since we are running slightly behind. So let's get started. Hopefully y'all good. Hopefully y'all ready for backlash in the week. And yeah, start off with some Tmall action before we get over to the hobby. Jose! What up, Brody? How you doing, my friend? Hopefully you are well. You sent your what? Wrestling finally had a good time, yeah, man. What's good with you, Brian? How you doing, man? I know there were some topics you wanted to get into, sir. We kind of reached them a little bit during our baseball break. We're here now, though. Talk. What Trick Williams say? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Trick Willie. Didn't get my one-on-one in that break. I gotta get a one-on-one in this break. Got roasted in the baseball break. It was brutal for some. Definitely. I won't deny that portion. That was brutal for some of y'all. For sure. Bronson Rick Steiner's father. 39 out of 49 on the Rick Steiner. Carmen Petrovich. Bret Hart, The Rock, 65 out of 99 on Dwayne. Tyler Bate, ringside, British Bulldog, 66 out of 99. Ilya Dragunov, get well soon, kid. Ringside Auto. Gold Gang, Turbocharge. Hurrah! Lorenzo Antonio Knight, 3 out of 10. They said he lost some of his fan base, that the people wasn't riding for him the same way. Untrue. Freshly fired. Cora Jade on the silver. Adriana Rizzo. Uno Dos Tres Kid and Tegan Knox. 99 out of 99. Last of its kind. Yeah, Brian. Definitely did, my friend. Definitely did. Marcus, you got Ivar, Danny Palmer, freshly fired. Big Boss Man and Miss Elizabeth. No problem. Yeah, it was definitely at Mania. Definitely there to feel all of the, that sounds crazy. Definitely there to experience the uproar of the Joe Hendry appearance. Wow. That original setup was terrible. Awkward. But yeah, it was definitely there at Mania, man. Good time. Really good time. Good show. Was there night 2. Got to see Cena get 17. The Never Seen 17, John Cena. The Hendry appearance was fire. The Hendry appearance was indeed fuego. Very shocking. And to me, probably the most perfectly executed match of the weekend. Right up there with Rollins, Punk, and Reigns in night one. But the way they did that, I know it wasn't as big of a match, obviously. But the shock of the crowd. Charles Dempsey, 83 out of 99. There's Obafemi, Tyson DuPont. Charlotte Flair on the artistic selection. Not too bad. What up, Oos? Tori Wilson, 46 out of 49. But Hendry, the way he played to the crowd, Orton hitting the RKO, 81 out of 99, right as Hendry did the turn, and then Orton following up, doing the turn himself was pretty dope. Candice LeRae, 26 out of 99. There's the Boogeyman, Roberto Lashley, 4 out of 149 on the Bobo. Jade Cargill, 2 out of 49. There have been improvements. Jade Cargill has gotten better. There's still some green in terms of selling, prolonged selling. She kind of like shakes off offense fairly quickly, but she's crisper, she's cleaner. Throw your ones up for the Tribal Chief, for sure. There. That is a good question, though. What's the thoughts on the releases, on the individuals that they gave the pink slips to, the freshly fired folks? I thought the draft was supposed to be last Monday. I thought it was supposed to start last Monday. But, I mean, maybe after the releases, we'll see. You think she put on just what she needed to do, Matt? Yeah. I mean, yeah, the match wasn't the best, but like I said, Jade has improved. I'm not looking for her to put on bangers, but at least show that she is getting better because, I mean, obviously, the star power is written on the wall. Usually second week after May. Okay, so probably tomorrow then, or Monday. Well, no, that was the second week after Mania, right? Yeah, so it should have started. Only two I didn't get why Braun and Jakara. People say Dakota. Dakota to me might have been seemed like a mutual thing, I would think. Obviously I don't know reports to know whether or not it was, but it comes across as it could have very well been a mutual thing. I think she kind of knew there wasn't a ton that they're going to do with her. I mean, she is hurt quite often, but, that sounds like maybe a conversation that was had to say, nothing happening here. Let me go ahead and go, and then I can figure it out. Cora, yeah, injury ridden, for sure. But I don't see how that's much different than Nikita Lyons. I think if we're getting rid of Cora for that reason, we could say the same for Nikita because they're not doing anything with her either. But for Cora, it wasn't too much of a shock. Once I saw Julia come up with Roxanne and team winner, 33 out of 49, I knew Cora probably was being written out some kind of way. Shawn Michaels on a turbocharge, 1 out of 149 on a Michael Hickenbottom. I think Braun can effectively ride off into the sunset at this point. 48 out of 99. He's taken a lot of punishment over the years. You can see the wear and tear on the body. I'm okay with him riding off into the sunset. 19 out of 49 on the Ken Shamrock. Nice color match. Jakara was definitely a surprise, though. I thought she had improved quite a bit. Stone Cold Steve Austin. 4 out of 99. Don't be in the front row when Stone Cold is on the ATV. Alba Fire on the silver. Yeah, Oral Menta was a surprise. I thought when they were breaking up Metaphor in the backstage area, I didn't expect them to cut half of that squad immediately. Like, that was kind of wild. Jakara I thought was really good. Had steadied, improved. She had gotten a lot better in the ring, a lot cleaner, a lot crisper, better with the timing. I'm not saying I saw a singles push. Obviously, that was slated for Lash, but I thought we could have at least seen a tag title run with those two young ladies before deciding to do any kind of releases. Yeah, Braun, I'm cool with Braun showing up for monster appearances. Just pop in, do a quick little. Think Lash is gonna next big push in NXT. Maybe. That ladies division is stacked over there. Super stacked. I mean, they just opened up some slots. Gigi's now gone. Corey Jade's now gone. So they've opened up some pathways. Road Dogg, 2 out of 99. Ilya Dragunov, 14 out of 99. Austin Theory, 136 out of 149 on the Sensations. Isla Dawn, she was on the list from before, 10 out of 49 on the Isla Dawn. Lita, 69 out of 149. Montez Ford and Jade Cargill on the silver. Yeah, Big Body Javi is probably done. I didn't see a whole lot of saving grace with the kid to begin with. And if he doesn't have a ton of experience, and they couldn't even make it work on Evolve, I don't know. I think Lash is going to get a push at some point, but I do think there's a decent line ahead of her. They still have Soul ahead of her. They have Jada Parker ahead of her. Obviously, Jordan Grace is ahead of her. Zarya is ahead of her. They have a few folks ahead of her. We'll see if, with Metaphor breaking up, if they decide to change that around, because Lash definitely should be in that conversation. But they kind of put a little advice to the back. It's a couple of ladies they've removed from some of that main focus. So we'll see. I'd like for Lash to get a push because she has improved so much, and I do think that she checks a specific aesthetic, and she fits a roster spot that they need. Their powerhouses typically go one or two ways when it comes to the ladies. Either we have the Nia Jax, Piper Niven powerhouses, or we have the Jade Cargill, Rhea Ripley type powerhouses. So for Lash to kind of land somewhere in the middle and be able to hold her own, I think that's an aesthetic that they need. Lash and B5, they're putting B5 with Meech in. Me cheering somebody thinking players in the lane, no, but, you know, I don't. You know. So she got dirt on somebody somewhere. I would assume she's getting a carrying cross shots, and she's not carrying cross good. Eddie Thorpe freshly fired. Noam Dar, welcome back. 77 out of 99. Lola Vice, the aforementioned. Ringside of D'Lo Brown. Undertaker, 48 out of 99. The Taker spot. Yokozuna. Yeah. 22 out of 99. LA Knight. They told me he was washed. JD McDonough, 43 out of 99. I would like to pull in R-Truth. I do think he's going to play a pivotal role in the Cena Orton match. Sid Vicious, 43 out of 49. Turbocharged Liv Morgan, 5 out of 149. Who do we think is next up after Orton? We know Cena's pretty much going to run the gambit in terms of we're doing callbacks. We're running some of the old rivalries back. So we're getting Orton out of the way. Who's next? Who's after Randy? Randy loses at Backlash, obviously. I think we might see R-Truth interfere in some sort of way, just to kind of protect his idol, his hero. And then Cena hurts Truth after that and breaks his heart or whatever the case may be and moves on. Who's the next challenger after Orton? Which I do expect that to be a good match up until shenanigans. But there will be shenanigans. So who do you guys see? Cena versus Rhodes, too soon. Too soon. Cena versus Rhodes in a rematch is too soon because ultimately... Wait, Cena... Yeah. Because ultimately, I think Cody does get the belt back at the end of the Cena run if he doesn't retire the belt. Which I think would be a dope way to finish it. But I don't foresee them doing that. Cena versus Punk at SummerSlam. Okay. I think they bring back Brock. I do think... Well, see, when we were writing this storyline before, and we were going babyface Cena, I did see a Brock match somewhere in the works. I don't think there's going to be one now. I don't think there's going to be a Brock match now. Now that he's a heel. Senor Filth, 3 out of 149. Dirty Dom Mysterio. Shout out to him. IC champion. Kurt Angle, 20 out of 149. That crowd went crazy when Dom won. I was a part of that. I wanted him to win. Ravishing Rick Rude, 2 out of 49. Samuel Zayn, 27 out of 99. I think he's got the next story arc. The Jey Uso. Speaking of Jey Uso, 43 out of 49. I think Sammy's got the next Kofi Kingston, Daniel Bryan, Jey Uso, like crowd favorite, pushing you to the belt. Surprisingly, making you a champion story. I think Sammy's the next one. Cena said he's taking it home with him. I think that would be good writing, personally. You think it happens when Paul brings Brock into Seth's faction, which is fine. I mean, if that is the case, here's why I don't think that happens. If it happens, then cool, but I don't think so because we're pushing Braun Breaker to essentially be that same type of monster. So you wouldn't put the OG next to him because you kind of overshadow what you're doing with the youngin, first and foremost. Secondly, if he does bring him back, I don't see why they target Cena. I can see them targeting Jay. I can see them continuing on this path with Punk and Roman. But I don't see them targeting Cena for any reason. Zayn needs to do something though. Yeah, but I'm saying like what I'm saying is that push to get him the belt. I mean, he's always going to have people behind him. But you know how we had that. We made it happen where Daniel Bryan got a belt. We made it happen where Kofi Kingston got a belt. I think the crowd pushed for Jey Uso to get his title run. I think Sammy's the next one in line for that, is what I'm saying. I'm not mad if Cena walks up with the belt. I think you let him do that, you start from scratch, and that becomes part of the legacy. Sid Vicious, 11 out of 99. Jim the Anvil Neidhart, 27 out of 99. And they can retire that belt and start with a brand new look to him. Trish Stratus, 49 out of 149. Ethan Page, one of my favorites on the NXT, 44 out of 99. Using a diamond cutter now for a finisher. I think that's very wise. Yokozuna, the Samoan Japanese man, 128 out of 149. I can see that. I can see Sammy possibly doing it. I just don't know if. So Jay's a transitional champion. I think we're pretty much all set with that. I believe when he finally does lose the belt, though, it will be to whomever they plan on keeping the belt on for a while. So I think Jay gets a couple of defenses out of the way, 2, possibly 3, and then from there we right into the storyline of where he's going to lose to whoever's supposed to be the incumbent, whoever they really wanted to pass the belt to. If he retires with the belt, then the 26 Rumble should be for the belt like in 1992. I wouldn't be furious with that. The only problem with that is we're talking about, because Rumble is, when is Rumble? Royal Rumble is what month typically? The Cena's done in December. So how many months are we going without a belt? Without the world title being represented? Until they create a new one. I mean, which they could feasibly do. Just because they have the other title. Yeah, I think Rollins openly takes the title off of Jay. That way, you know, Punk gets his chase for a belt. Roman gets his chase for another belt. All that good stuff. Diamond Dallas Page on the silver. Riley Osborne freshly fired. 6 out of 49. Gold Gang. Sensations Roxanne P. 3 out of 10. On the gold, Roxanne Perez. Hopefully she gets a legitimate push. Tiffany Stratton. Is she losing some of her steam a little bit? 13 out of 49. Like, are we still backing Tiffany Stratton the same way we did before? Ravishing Rick Rude, 42 out of 99. I think her briefcase run kind of killed a lot of the feels. Gold Gang, Becky Lynch, welcome back, 7 out of 10. Hella rusty though, hella rusty. 2 performances. She looked terrible in both. Main event, Jey Uso is now number 299, 42 out of 99. For your World Heavyweight Champion. Yeet. By the way, shout out to my guy, Tribal Chief. Definitely called this Jey Uso title run from a while back. We used to have our discourse about it before. I didn't see it coming. I didn't think it would be a thing. He convinced me, or kept saying that it would be, and that wave definitely grew to where it didn't make sense to not put the belt on him. So, yeah. Well done, sir. Great call. But yeah, I think Tiffany's kind of cooled off a little bit. her character fits better as a heel, and her promos are still kind of in that realm. And I think that's probably more the problem I have with her. You guys think Seth and Braun need a third member? And if so, throw some names out for who that should be. I think right now it's a little tough to pair somebody up with them. 16 out of 99, Ethan Page. Yet again, Riley Osborne, freshly fired. 53 out of 99 on a color match. Ringside of Tyreek Igwe, 1/2 of TNT. Here's Dwayne, 63 out of 149. Paul Ellering, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, 6 out of 49. Need to know why Braun, Seth, and Paul are even together. Finn Balor, 35 out of 49. I mean, the Heyman and Rollins part, I think, will come later. 57 out of 99. But Sheamus, not Sheamus, 57.99 on Sheamus. But Braun joining up makes all the sense in the world. Yeah, see, I think so too. That's where I'm at with it. I don't think they need a third. I also don't want, when they do make that decision, I don't want it to be Oba. I think he needs to stand on his own for quite a bit. Bronson Reed was a thought of mine as well, because I thought Bronson was going to be Heyman's new monster. Obviously, not the case. But I did think Bronson Reed was going to be one, just because they did have big plans for a push for him prior to the injury. Honestly, I could see this Seth Braun isn't being pushed as a lackey. Braun is being, the way it works, I think we all pretty much know, like on screen, off screen, what the connection to Heyman means. I think ultimately what we're looking at is, like Ty is saying, Braun is Heyman's new Brock, but ultimately Heyman is siding with Seth to help the appeal for Braun, only to eventually back Braun as his guy. And Braun's definitely not on the same level as Seth. Like, Braun is, for lack of a better word, the Bautista of this particular version of Evolution. This early stage Bautista. Andrade, 27 out of 99. Like, eventually it's going to come to a head, but for now, you know, you sit under the learning tree, you pick up a few things. Seth is still a vet, 48 out of 99 to Tonka. And they're setting up something for Braun Breaker down the line, which he was always going to be one of their top guys. Ilya Dragunov, get well soon, 69 out of 149. I just don't see them adding another person. Tiffany Stratton, 23 out of 99. It's Tiffy time. The only reason why I don't think they should add a third, or I think it's necessary to add a third, because the way the way Braun Breaker executes and the basis of the character, being as explosive as he is, and hitting the spear the way he does, and all that good stuff, everything that they do, that they have built around the mystique of Braun Breaker, he serves as essentially multiple people, right? He's a killer. He's unleashed. You put him out there, you have him just go do destruction. The same way Heyman never really needed. You know, I got Brock next to me, I'm good. I don't need anything else. I think Braun is supposed to be pushed the same way. Like, that was my analogy for him when he had that Rumble appearance. It's like he's going to fill the Brock role on the roster. I mean, Becky, by proxy, just because we know who she's connected to, but she doesn't necessarily have to be a part of the crew. What about Seth Rollins and Reed versus Roman Punk and Brock match? I mean, if there is a third, then it's a third to push Braun out. I just don't know. Like, if you look at the roster, here's the thing, y'all, and here's why I think it's going to be difficult to add that. If you look at that roster, Braun's what, 24, 25? Braun's what, mid-20s. There's not another one on that roster that fits the description, so to speak. Silver ringside of Dwayne. There's not another one on the roster that fits the description. And by that, they got to check all the boxes. All the boxes. No, Melo is definitely not going to be the person. They got to check all the boxes, right? So they have to be able to have similar impact as Braun Breaker. They got to have the age factor on their side. 46 out of 99. They have to be at least at Braun's level or higher. And they have to be some sort of threat to Seth. 3 out of 149. Because if they're anything other than that, because that's all the things that Braun Breaker is. There she is. Miss Parker. Miss Parker. Jada Parker on the ringside. Terrence Funk. 2 out of 49. If they can't check all of those boxes, then there's no point. 11 out of 99. Which is why I mentioned Obafemi. He's probably the only one on any of their rosters that fit that, unless they got somebody on LFG that's supposed to be really good. 31 out of 149 on Mankind. Like, they'd have to either bring up Oba, which I don't want them pairing him in there with that group because he needs to stand on his own. Or if they signed a Powerhouse Hobbs or a Wardlow or something like that, or find somebody that like fits the part, they'd have to bring somebody in. It's got to be a fresh face with just a ton of potential. They got a kid down in Evolve that's pretty good, but I don't think he's ready for that. Yeah, Oba checks the boxes, but Oba doesn't need to be a part of any faction. Like, that's so against the character that they built around him. You know, I'm the ruler. Like, Oba's the type that comes up, that would come up and challenge Seth right away. Yeah, see, and that's what I'm saying. Yeah, we're on the same page, pal. We're on the same page. It's gonna take a lot to have Braun looking like he's minuscule. So the only other person that may check that box, and even that, it doesn't make a ton of sense, would probably be like Jacob, with the way that they push Jacob Fatu. But again, what sense does that make? If that's the case, you should this guy here from Jump Street. He's not finna join on to another faction. If he can't even get along with family, 37 out of 49, he's not finna join Paul Heyman and Seth Rollins and whatever their cause is. Especially not Braun Breaker, because they're one and the same. Trick Willie, 120 out of 149. Like, they're still teasing that war. Austin Theory, 19 out of 99. With Melo. All right, we'll definitely keep tabs. The video will be up forever. So if it's Melo, player, 6 out of 10. Gold Gang, Teddy Long. Like Melo's good. He's been really, really good. I also like the combination they put together with him and Miz. 33 out of 99. I think Melo's found his lane in terms of promo cutting and all that. Scarlett, 34 out of 99. I don't know if it hurts Melo. I think we're setting up Melo to be the guy that kind of evens the score for Miz. I think he's going to step up to the plate for him. Now, this guy's name has been floated around as a third member, but again, if he's going to be that, if he plays the Orton role of this new evolution, so to speak, and he's, you know, the guy who's slowly but surely coming up, I guess that would be the other way to kind of play it, is for them to add somebody, which is where I guess Melo plays a part. I just don't see it being Melo. But I think that would be the other way to play it, is we're bringing in, after they're established, after Seth's, you know, found his spot on the throne, after Braun's kind of settled into being settled into what his role is, but steady climbing, and you know, we're starting to get the cracks in the faction there. They can have one other one. They can bring up who's talented. There's potential there, but not really sure if we're going to, like, if he really checks the boxes, right? Like, he will in time, but he doesn't right now. Kind of, for those of you that watch AEW, right? If I were to make another analogy, like Braun Breaker would be your Claudio, and this next person, whether that's an Austin Theory or whoever this next up and coming star is, that's your Wheeler Yuta type of thing. I know Nathan Frazier was trained by Seth, so I can see that maybe once everything's fully established, but nobody's going to be able to take Braun's spot. 11 out of 99. And if you're doing it this early, it would have to be somebody that can kind of play that role as well. 1 out of 49, JD McDonough. So yeah, maybe later down the line, 35 out of 99. They're the established powerhouse. Seth's got the belt. Braun is being the enforcer. Terry Bollea, 76 out of 99 on the Hulk Hogan. Then you can add that next one. PJ Brooks on the ring side, and Alexa Bliss, 139 out of 149 on the turbocharge. Not anytime soon. Braun versus Seth won't happen anytime soon. It'll be a minute before we start seeing any cracks in the armor of that faction. Why are you sold on it being Melo, Josh? Because I don't want to like dismiss the points you're making. I want to like hear you out. Why are you sold on it being Melo? What is it about Carmelo Hayes that you see as he's got to get this push or be put in that level spotlight? Javier Woods, Luca Crucifino, 50 out of 99. Down in Evolve. Ron Simmons on a silver. Norman Smiley, Roddy Piper, 39 out of 149. Samuel Zayn, 48 out of 49. Big E, 60 out of 99 on King Lazy. Gold Gang, United States champion, 6 out of 10. Zelina Vega. So what I'm seeing, Josh, because I agree with that. Like I said when he first got called up that they might have missed their timing on Melo. I've been saying that for a while, but he seems to have figured out in this particular role like how to play it. He's been much better. Like the matches are always going to be good because Melo's just a good in-ring performer. But being more on the comedy side has actually kind of helped, I think, legitimize the wins. So he does look to be in the mold of, I don't want to say new Miz, but you can kind of see him fit in that spot. So by that I mean when you look back and you can say, damn, he's got all these accolades. Andre the Giant joint, you know, he'll get a mid-card belt at some point. I'm sure him and Miz will tag up and get tag titles somewhere along the line. Like, he's going to have a ton of accolades under his belt, and you're like, well, I never saw it coming. I didn't think he had all that. I didn't think he accomplished all that or did all that because the presentation for him. But he's going to be, he's a really good worker. I think that roster is top heavy. Yeah, Miz is what? Miz, he's won every belt there is to win in the company, has he not? He's main evented Wrestlemania. He's beaten some of the top guys. He's carried for a while. He's a great, like, Miz is an unsung hero in that locker room. And the thing is, and it seems to be where they're headed with Melo as well. Miz doesn't, speaking of the Miz, there he is, 36 out of 99. Miz doesn't lose any steam one way or the other. Bray Wyatt, 46 out of 49. By that, I'm saying you can have him lose the Aleister Black, 2 out of 99, in a very, very competitive match, and then have him get rolled up by R-Truth on another night and be just fine. 26 out of 99, like, he doesn't lose his spot. He's that grandfathered in. He's that solidified. We can 45 out of 99 Rob Van Dam. We can believe that Miz can put on a Matt Classic with someone and lose to some jobber in back-to-back weeks, and he doesn't lose his position on the roster. 46 out of 49, Hollywood Hulk Hogan. And plus, how we talked about, no, we haven't. What about her? What about her holding the title? And plus, going back to the Miz point, he hasn't been a part of a bad tag team yet. Like, whoever they've paired up with him, it's always worked. It's always worked. That person has always worked out. And I mean, being a very good tag team, like a force of a team. So I think it's a great pairing for him. And I'm not saying Melo is going to go out there and like get revenge and beat Aleister Black one-on-one, but I do think he can win off some shenanigans. I do think they can get an upper hand. And Melo can get a dub based off of that, which is just as good. Works just the same. Yeah. That run they had, that was the last time they had a serious R-Truth. And that was his best work. Gorilla Monsoon, 78 out of 99. Rob Van Dam on the silver. And new Eduardo Guerrero, 8 out of 149. We got gold coming up. Gold gang. Freshly fired Blair Davenport, 6 out of 10. Ringside of Julia. Welcome to the main roster. Trick Willie on a silver premiere. And Braun Strowman, freshly fired, 62 out of 149. Trick's starting to put it together. Like, Trick's heel run is starting to help. I think it's calming down his promos. He doesn't have to be over the top babyface. He's getting better at delivering his heel lines. So, props to Trick. Been definite improvements there. I still would have loved for him to be the leader of Dark State. If it's not going to be him, then it needs to be Ricky Saints. But I don't think it's either one at this point. Saints is still a possibility. But they haven't really made that make sense just yet. But I thought for a while they were teasing it to be, well, they were teasing it to be Trick. And I think that would have been good. That's how he gets his belt back. Because you're not going to be over head up. So how he gets his belt back is probably through leading some sort of faction. And I think that's the only way you believably take the belt off of Oba Femi right now. I still don't like the way he lost the the North American title. I still don't like that. I think the way he lost the rematch should have been the way he lost the belt. But I understand what they were doing. British Bulldog. I just think they did it out of order. Scott Hall. Rick Steiner. 71 out of 99. Ultimate Warrior on the end new. 15 out of 149. Jasmine Nix. We're going to split that up pretty soon. Cora Jade, 70 out of 149, freshly fired. Andrade, 47 out of 49. Bret the Hitman Hart, 138 out of 149. And Jim the Anvil Neidhart, 12 out of 49. Papa Jim. Natty's daddy. Josh, what was it about Zelina having a belt? You agree, disagree, think she shouldn't have it? What are the thoughts there? SmackDown back down to 2 hours in June. That's probably for the better. That's probably for the better. They got a lot of TV on right now and a lot of crossovers. They could probably make it a little more dedicated that way. Because there's a ton of crossovers. I'm not mad at that. Okay, so you don't like Cena having a belt. I got you. Now, this was a guy I thought could have got a Heyman push at some point. Obviously, it's not going to happen. They haven't booked him correctly. But that was a guy I would have been cool with having a Heyman push. Jade Cargill, 45 out of 99. Bray Wyatt, 15 out of 99. That's our guy over. Tori Wilson, 30 out of 99. Silver Premier, Devon Dudley. Lex Luger, 7 out of 10 on a gold. Joaquin Wilde and Mediocre Khali on the silver. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it, like her beating Chelsea, makes sense, but past that, nah, I didn't even agree with her beating Chelsea, but you know, she could probably beat Chelsea, and that's fine. I just don't. I'm not a big Zelina Vega fan myself either. I understand she couldn't stay the mascot for the LWO anymore. Yeah. Hall of Fame Lex, for sure. Very true. I got a question for you guys, since we were talking about a possible third member down the line. Now, I mentioned Julius Creed, but that's more because I like Julius Creed a lot. And I think there's a lot of untapped potential there. And you can pair him with a Heyman and kind of utilize that. And how that makes some semblance of sense. Obviously, he can't replace Braun, but it's just like a project piece. But him aside, what do we think of Montez Ford? Brendan Reese down in Evolve. Dragon Lee, 31 out of 149. Charlotte Flair, 48 out of 99. She's going away for a while, right? Kane, 84 out of 99 on the Kane. Nice little color match there with the red. Otis on the auto. Bailey. R-Truth. And a pimp named Charles. 49 out of 49 on the Godfather. Huh. Okay. I think Tez is clearly the Shawn Michaels of that tag team in terms of he's the one that will probably be better. Probably be successful singles more so than Angelo Dawkins. He's got the look, the athleticism, a lot of personality, a lot of character there. Obviously, they'd have to make him way more serious. But he's got the look, he's got the athleticism. There's believability in him being able to, in my opinion, I mean, he won't have the cunning or the experience, but I think he could beat a Seth in terms of, like, you know, physically compared to him. That'd be a good match. I think that it's not completely out of the realm of possibility that his level of athleticism doesn't beat a Braun Breaker. And there's enough foundation there for him to be believable. At the same time, enough space to where we can groom him and grow him into a completely different presentation of talent, but still fits in line with what he brings to the table. Like the performances he's put on as of recent in those tag matches have been pretty damn good. 52 out of 99 on a Randy Orton. So if somebody were to take him away from that and say, okay, 25 out of 99 on the Doc Hendricks, we're gonna put some more time into you, make you 86 out of 99 on Gene Okerlund. A bit more serious, a bit more focused, a bit more ruthless. JC Jane, Gold Gang, 3 out of 10. And give him a push. He's not a small guy. Becky Lynch on the turbocharged, 90 out of 149. Like, he checks a lot of boxes. Now, he's older than Braun, obviously. So there's that part. There's Dusty Rhodes, 3 out of 49. But outside of that, there's a lot of boxes that I think Montez Ford checks that can bring him on as like a project piece and see what happens. I mean, you know, pulls off the suit well, so you can still keep that part in mind. Because I thought that there was something there when they were training with Bobby Lashley. And he took them under his wing and tried to make them a little more serious. I thought there was something there. They never pursued it. It never went further than just that part, obviously. Because, I mean, we saw what happened. Bobby's over at AEW doing the same. But I do think that there was potential there for a serious Montez Ford as a heel to really ascend to the next level, personally. But just want to get people's opinions. I think Tez is talented. I think there's definitely something there. I also think that this latest run with him and Angelo being a powerhouse tag team works really, really well. So it doesn't have to be anytime soon, because they're probably, I do think like eventually Fraxium probably takes that somehow, because the SmackDown tag division is pretty fire right now. Way better than the Raw tag division. But there's enough depth there to back that up. No KO yet. Actually, it's kind of wild. There has not been one KO. Psycho Sid, 4 out of 149. He might be waiting hobby for you. Chad Gable, 7 out of 49. I would love for Gable to have a serious run at some point. Charlotte Flair. Chad Gable again, 97 out of 99. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, 45 out of 99. $113 out of 149, Drew McIntyre. Drew versus Fatu. I wonder how they play that one. Yeah, there's a ringside of Julia, Tommy, and that's all she has in the set, so congrats. We got more gold coming up. Jakara Jackson, freshly fired. 7 out of 49. Sad to see her go. I thought she was improving quite a bit. Booker T. Rhea Bloody Ripley, 53 out of 149. They're going to put the belt back on her anytime soon. Tiffany Stratton on the silver. Chief J Strongbow. Finn Balor, 71 out of 99. Shinsuke Nakamura. Jakara Jackson again. 47 out of 99. Couple of Jakara hits there. $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase on the Legends. Auto. And Axiom. Gold Gang. 8 out of 10. Shout out to Axiom. Shout out to Fraxium, actually. Making it to the main roster. Helping out that tag division over on SmackDown. Looking forward to them and Motor City Machine Guns pairing up. I think that'll be a really good match. Obviously, them and DIY will be a really good match. There's not too many teams on that main roster on SmackDown they can't have a good match with. So, looking forward to seeing that. Also thought their send-off match in NXT was incredible. One of the best matches of that entire WrestleMania weekend was that tag match with Fraxium and Hank and Tank. Shout out to Hank and Tank. Definitely did not see this coming, but they are really good. Really good. High energy. Move way better than you would expect for their collective sizes or their individual sizes for sure. Very intense team. Crisp. They're just good. They're just good. Just high energy, high level energy. And the character work is really good too. So shout out to Hank and Tank. Your NXT Tag Team Champions. Very well deserved. So, I mean, they had to do something, Josh. They're going to push. They're going to give Roxanne the Bret Hart with a personality push, where her technical prowess is going to be enough to get her through any and everything you put in front of her. The Bret Hart, the Daniel Bryan type of, he's technically sound enough or smart enough to figure out a win, even against like odds that she shouldn't be able to do. So I like it. I like it. She's good enough to do it. Hollywood Hulk Hogan, 89 out of 99. I thought they moved Stephanie up before they moved Julia. I thought they were going to give the belt back to Julia. There's Camacho, 107 out of 149, and move Stephanie up. I think she's definitely main roster ready. 15 out of 99, Ken Shamrock. But they want to keep her in NXT, which I'm not mad at. Isla Dawn, 14 out of 99. She's been floating on both shows. I think this further establishes the strength of that title. 82 out of 149. Her being able to put on the type of performances she has with the champions on the main roster. 42 out of 99, the Ultimate Warrior. Only helps make the NXT title look that much stronger. So, I'm not mad at that. This Julia and Roxanne pairing is interesting. I mean, whether she stays on there or comes up, she's going to work. Like, she's, in my opinion, the cleanest worker on the women's side of the house that they have. Last stack of packs. for our Tmall section of the break. And then we'll float over into the hobby section. Vader on a silver. First redemption of the break. Tatanka, 6 out of 49. Chelsea Green on the silver premiere. Sherry Martel. Sheamus, 25 out of 49. Dusty Rhodes, 36 out of 99. And Godfather. But our redemption first. Gold Wave on the auto. Card 17. Mr. Allen Jones. Gold redemption auto of AJ Styles. $53 out of 99 on the Godfather. That's fire. That's how you finish off a Tmall case right there. Oh, gold redemption. Alright. Tmall done. Hobby coming up. Give me 1 second. Alright, let's get into this hobby. We need a one-on-one. What's up, Kendrick? Yeah, I do. If they still have some there, they'll send them to you. If not, they got to send you something. So I do think you'll get them. They've always been slow, though. From what I understand, they've always been slow that way. So I don't think it's any different than any other time. All right, let's see what we get out of hobby real quick. Tommaso Ciampa on the Sparks. Alexa Bliss on the silver. Sensations, Nikita Lyons, Chelsea Green on the tricolor. Bray Wyatt, Turbocharge of Bobby Lashley. Yeah! LA Knight 38 out of 175. Ringside of Bronco Nima. Camacho on the Turbocharge. Tie-Dye Party Entrant. Ultimate Warrior 2 out of 25. Karrion Kross. Tiffany Stratton. Lyra Valkyria 13 out of 49 on the Anu. And Mean Gene Okerlund on the silver premiere. Lyra. Becky really gonna get her girl to the top of the charts. Look like she trying to, for sure. So we're gonna get her a push. Whether that's what the people want to see or not, we're gonna get her a push. Shout out to Becky taking care of our youngins. Lyra is female Dean Malenko. Technically sound. Nobody cares. But Becky gonna get her to the top of the card. She gonna find a way. So, shout out to Becky. Cause I wanna make it. The BBL herself, Bianca Belair. Red ringside auto, 67 out of 99. Baron Corbin. Dragon Lee. Jasmine Nix on the die cut. There's Melo. Charlotte. Duke Hudson, freshly fired. Auto. Katana Chance, also freshly fired. There's Lyra on the Anu. Alundra Blaze, 139 out of 199. Trish Stratus on the Turbocharge. And Scott Hall, 64 out of 99 from Scott Hall. Dirty Dom Mysterio, 85 out of 99 on the Senor Filth, your IC champion. Wesley on the Sparks, 9 out of 99. British Bulldog. Ringside carrying Cross, John Cena. Stone Cold Steve Austin, 93 out of 125 on the white. Spacer. And Undertaker, 218 out of 245. Or 249, I should say. Grayson Waller in a turbocharged silver premier die cut of Typhoon. Noam Dar. JBL 136 out of 175. Mark Coffey, freshly fired on the auto. 96 out of 99. Silver Premier Finn Balor. Trick Williams on the Sensations. And Undertaker, 50 out of 149. Another Undertaker hit. Mark Coffey. What happens to the Gallus boys? They just go back to Ireland? What are we doing with that team? Gonna miss them? I know they were down in Evolve, trying to set up a match with two of the big up-and-coming talents down there, which was very surprising to see them call that team out and then get fired right after that. It's kind of weird. Like, why even put that in any storyline anywhere if you're just gonna release the talent? Sonya Deville, 61 out of 99 on the Sparks. She was on a previous fired list. Ringside Road Dogg. Miss Elizabeth, 48 out of 199. There you go. There you go, Brian. Kevin Owens, 128 out of 149. That's all it took. Just have to get over the hobby. Just have to get over to the hobby. No big deal. All right, Obafemi. Roxanne Perez on a purple ring side. 2 out of 35. Nice auto there. Grayson Waller. There's Lita. CM Punk. Izzy Dame. No bread. No water. Just me. 108 out of 249. Obafemi. Tank Ledger, 1/2 of the NXT Tag Team Champions. 43 out of 49. It's actually a nice card to get now. And Howard Finkel, 13 of 79. Or 75. It's like timeline on this card. They got any more matches lined up for Backlash besides Orton and Cena? I think they're setting up a number one contender for Tiffany next week. Raquel Rodriguez, 17 out of 49. Damian Priest, all rise, 68 out of 99. That's right, Becky and Lyra. Tony D'Angelo. I know ultimately Becky will, but you think she gives her the win this time too? 12 out of 125. Maxine Dupree. Dom, Becky. Yeah, you got a purple KO when we first started this this case. No truth though. I think Becky wins. Yeah, she got to get back from NXT. No belt on the line, right? Or is it? Did I see gold? Might have been gold in there. Nope, no gold. I hope not. I don't need Becky getting that belt. Silver Premier die cut Chuck Dempsey. Ringside and Naomi. Bianca Belair. Montez Ford. Look at that back to back. 16 out of 199. Tez is a good one. Michael Satomura just had a retirement match recently. That's an auto for her. Cora Jade freshly fired. 80 out of 249. And Scott Hall, 96 out of 149. No, she had kind of got it written out of it, Josh. Like I said, when I saw, the last thing I saw with her was her and Roxanne were kind of having a falling out, and she had challenged for like the TNA Knockouts title, and then once I saw Julia come up with Roxanne, the writing was pretty much on the wall because that was supposed to be her running mate. Like, it would have made sense for Roxanne to come up with a tag team partner or somebody watching her back, and that should have been Cora. But once I saw that they brought Julie up, it was like, only a matter of time. Only a matter of time. But yeah, health, injuries, she wasn't the greatest talker. She wasn't the greatest in-ring worker either. So Eddie G. That's a nice one. 12 out of 35. The American Nightmare. Cody Rhodes on a purple ringside auto. Very nice. Very nice. We'll see if Cody can climb his way back up into prominence. Die cut of Tommaso Ciampa. Curly Bright. The Big Wiggle. Norman Smiley. 26 out of 49. Big Wiggle. B-Fab. Gold Gang. 7 out of 10. B-Fab on the auto. Gold auto. Obafemi. 64 out of 99. We got a pretty good run of golds here tonight. If I do say so myself. Per second, ringside to 35. They don't come often, but we got 2. Could be one of them. Give me 1 second. Eddie Thorpe. JC Jane on the Sparks. Sensations of Thea Hell. Welcome back. Alexa Bliss on the ringside. Eddie Guerrero turbocharged. Nice little color match. 65 out of 125 on the CM Punk. I'm pretty partial to this one. I like Select. I've always liked Select. But I mean, I enjoy breaking both products. Sami Zayn, 106 out of 199. And Juan Cena, 137 out of 149. The Unseen, 17. hitting the halfway mark, we are going to be fairly behind. For the Leaf Out Century break, but it will still occur. Jade Cargill. We got Johnny Gargano on the swatches. I like the tag team run they've been on as of recent. DIY finally getting some love there after teasing and split up. Riley Osborne. Ringside is Stephanie Vaquer. There we go. So we got Julia and Stephanie. Zebra, Liv Morgan. Very nice hit. Kevin Nash on the ringside. Trick Willie. We got Kane, 74 out of 175. Tyler Bate on Sensations. Rhea Ripley on the tricolor. Adriana Rizzo, but our redemption is Red Prism Signature card number 1, Becky Lynch. And Adriana Rizzo is 242 out of 249. Yeah, we get that on any of our breaks though, Brian. But that's like the best part. That's why it doesn't matter for me for the terms like the product. Like when we come in and we talk our wrestling stuff, I'm Gucci either way. So new Hollywood star Miss Morgan. What was she in? I saw it got mentioned earlier. What show or movie or whatever did she land a role in? I know Trick Williams was on what's the football? All American recently. Which makes sense, former football player. So it's not like we're doing some big stretch of a role for him. But still, shout out to him. Congratulations. I always would like to parlay or segue this career into the next. And then I do think there's an avenue for professional wrestlers into the silver screen. Especially when you consider the improv aspect and character development aspect of professional wrestling. 17 out of 99. Yeah, straight goat. Yeah, it's gonna be a bit behind. But once we get done with this break, we are gonna shut this stream down and start up a brand new one, which will have the Pop Century. So yeah, probably around that time. 22 out of 25. Nice little die cut or a tie-dye of Ridge Holland on the Olo. American Nightmare Cody Rhodes, 6 out of 99. No problem, straight goat. Appreciate your patience and understanding. We will still have that break for you as soon as possible. Down to our last 6 boxes. Probably cannot say I've ever heard of the brand. Also, the most underrated star in the WWE right now. I want to say Gable, but I think that's more underutilized or misutilized. Underrated. Oh, it's a tough one. Who's better than people give him credit for? I'd probably say, I mean, we haven't seen him in a while, but somebody dragging off. 94 out of 99, fifth Philly on the auto. Grayson Waller. Liv Morgan. Die cut of Roman Reigns. Tyler Bate, welcome back. Riley Osborne, 103 out of 149. Eddie Thorpe. Silver, CM Punk. Trick Williams. Adriana Rizzo, 40 out of 125. There's Dwayne, and our redemption is Jimmy Uso, Big Jim. Dwayne is 100 out of 199. Nice little final boss blue premiere. Dragonoff 101? I might have. I think so. I'm not completely sure. I remember for sure, but I wouldn't be surprised. That sounds arrogant as hell, don't it? But we've hit a lot of obscure 101s is the point of that statement. Finley. My name's Finley, and I love to fight. My bad, Brian. My bad. Oh, the top. Okay, yeah. Okay. That makes sense. I do know I got a Frozen Factor of 1. Dion Lennox. Yeah. You're supposed to be here. Jay Uso on the swatches. Alexa Bliss on the silver. Turbocharger Psycho Sid, Charlotte Flair. Ringside Lucian Price. Braun Strowman. Gold Gang. Nikita Lyons, 6 out of 10 on a Nikki Lyons. She was able to keep her occupation. She was able to keep her job. Ultimate Warrior and Stacy Keibler on the silver premiere. Oh yeah, Last Legend for sure. There's definitely a lot of talent there. Lash is on the way. Definitely not mad at that selection. All right, 5 boxes left. Again, if you are here for the Leaf Pop Century, apologies, it will be running just a slight bit late. But once we have concluded our wrestling break, we will shut down this stream and start up a new one for the Leaf Pop Century. Appreciate your patience and understanding. That break will still be occurring tonight. 2 cases of fire. I gotta live up to what you guys are used to from my guy Diamond Hands, so I have to meet that level. Is it KO or RT? Yeah, another KO. You need 2 KOs. You get knocked out twice, Brian. Luca Crucifino. There's a Sparks of Kevin Owens, non-numbered. JD McDonough on the silver. Uncle Howdy. China on the ringside. Yeah. 2 out of 149. Lorenzo Antonio Knight. Sensations of Gigi Dolan, freshly fired. Ariana Grace. Rhea Ripley. Katana Chance, also on that freshly fired list. 91 out of 125. Scratches in for the KO. Let them marinate a little bit for a nice Rosario Dawson hit. Josh calling the shot. Yeah, I told you at the beginning of opening up this case, KO got a hit. He had a number card to 149. No problem, Brian. No problem. No problem. Jakar Jackson, 61 out of 99 on the auto. Hopefully she ends up somewhere where she gets more of an opportunity, because I think she was doing well and on her way. Joe Briscoe, 206 out of 249. The Joe Briscoe. LA Knight on the turbocharged. Andre Chase got the school back, 39 out of 99 on the auto. Starting academics back up again. Shout out to Chase University. There's Gunther and Tyler Breeze, Prince Pretty, 58 out of 75. One of the better, one of the more unique, I'll say, NXT runs during this time. And then obviously the combination with him and Fandango. Breeze Dango. Great tag team. Four boxes left. I don't believe so, Brian. Those usually get claimed fairly consistently. And there's confirmation. Obafemi, Tyson DuPont, Ilya Dragunov, second ringside auto we pulled of his. One out of Tmall and one out of Hobby. So shout out to the Dragunov spot. Both not numbered, but still autographs nonetheless. Piper Nevin on a die cut. Rey Mysterio. Looking forward to what happens when Dragunov comes back. How he's going to be utilized. I know one of the better workers on the roster. I know Trips is a fan of his. Solo Sikoa and the Sensations. Talk about a fall off. The original Rock, Don Morocco, 26 out of 199. Solo Sikoa, to me, was our heel MVP of a year ago, and he is completely falling off the face of the map. Ringside actions, signatures. Card 17, Naomi. And 56 out of 249 on the Nia Jax. Welcome back. Ilya Dragunov. H-Bomb. Some cool stuff with Pop Century. I won't deny that. There is some pretty cool stuff that can be pulled in Pop Century. So definitely worth joining one if you get opportunity to. We will be having one immediately following this one. This break. 2 cases. Got Gunther on the Sparks, IRS, the Taxman. There's Io Sky, Yokozuna, Brandy Reese on the ringside, Rocky Johnson, Soul Man, 38 out of 99. D'Lo Brown on the ringside, Roddy Piper, the Samoan, Bulldozer. Oh my God! 8 out of 25 on the tie-dye ringside. Fire. Like that. R.I.P. Umaga. Thea Hell on Sensations. Tyler Breeze. Turbocharged Eduardo Guerrero. And a silver Randy Orton. Yeah, Umaga was very, very good. Shout out to Vince McMahon for creating an Umaga character to counteract what Samoa Joe was doing in TNA. But still very well done in terms of execution. Umaga was very good. Very strong run. Three boxes left. Again, if you're here for the Elite Pop Century, we'll still have that break at the conclusion of this one. Apologies for the late start. But that break still will be occurring. Appreciate your patience. Got Sparks of Alexa Bliss, Evelyn Torres on the silver, Cora Jade Sensations, Dwayne, Billy Gunn on the ringside, Kari Sane, 22 out of 149. There's a William Regal, Charlotte Flair, nice little tie-dye of the Hurricane, 21 out of 25. What's up with that? Randy Orton, Stone Cold, Drew McIntyre, and Eve Torres. Imagine they had the TNA WWE crossover in 20. Oh yeah, Umaga versus Joe. Yeah, that would have been nasty. I think the match everybody would have wanted to see at that time though is a young up and coming Mr. Alan Jones and a very established but still extremely capable Shawn Michaels. Lyra Valkyria Welcome to the tie-dye party. 15 out of 25. Tie-dye auto of Lyra. Silver premiere of main event and Jey Uso. Nikita Lyons on the silver premiere die cut. There's a redemption. Dakota Kai on the silver. Eddie Guerrero. Speaking of AJ Styles, 229 out of 249. Turbocharged to KO. Dude Love. 83 out of 175 on the Dude Love. Riley Osborne. Juan Cena, 68 out of 99 on the Unseen 17. Silver, Nia Jax. And the redemption is a ringside action sig of card number 6, who is Roxanne Perez. There we go. Yes, Sean, that is correct. So we are 2 boxes away and a recap. And then we will shut this live down and start up a new one for Pop Century. Appreciate you, Sean. Thank you for your patience and understanding, sir. Who do you have in the break, by the way? Let's get those requests in early. Let's get the requests in early. Send those up to the card gods so they can take care of you guys once that break occurs. Nope, no problem, Sean. Two boxes left. Still waiting to see an Olsen auto. Say less. Say less. I got you. Sending that up now. I'm sending that up now. Got you. Oh. Alexa Bliss on the turbocharged Sol Ruka. Carly Bright on the ringside Ultimate Warrior. Bret the Hitman Hart. That's a nice color match. 75 out of 99. Nice little low-key color match on the purple. Charlotte Flair. Liv Morgan. Bray Wyatt on the silver. Thea Hale on the Sparks. Ivy Nile. Lexus King on the auto. Very nice. And the silver ringside of Paul Heyman. Very nice. I think that's 2 silver ringsides. What would be considered a good card in this break? Just one of the top stars, one of the top WWE wrestlers. Right now, a big chase is Jacob Fatu. John Cena's cards are probably going to still have some value. Hogan still holds a lot of value. The 1-of-1s, the gold, the greens to 5, tie-dyes look pretty cool. Autos, things of that nature. of the rookie chases. Obafemi, Jada Parker, the likes. Alexa Bliss on the ringside, Trick Williams. Gold Gang, Jake the Snake Roberts, 10 out of 10. Perfect score. Tyler Bate on the Sensations, Tiffany Stratton. There's the aforementioned Obafemi. Katana Chance, freshly fired, 75 out of 99 on the auto. Shawn Michaels. Turbocharged Austin Theory. Baron Corbin, 4 out of 199. Legendary Baron Corbin. Turbocharger The Miz. And Triple H, the Boss Man, 175 out of 249 of Mr. Paul Levesque. There it is. One box left. Last box mojo. Jake Roberts slithering out of my top loader there. All of that sounded plausible. Haven't watched wrestling since Buff Bagwell. Now would be the time. Now would be the time to get back involved. Business is booming. Some of the best product that we've seen in a while. So if you enjoyed it then, I'm sure you love it now. Get back into it, Sean. Was a throwback though. It's a wild shout out. Your gold streak continues in this breast. What we got? You know we got you, Kedrick. You know we got you. Alright, last box. And then we have the no cap recap. And we'll send our fine wrestling community off to enjoy their weekend. We will get our Pop Century folks active. Appreciate the patience of the Pop Century folks. Finishing up this break, shut down this stream, and we'll start up a new one and get you your Pop Century fix. Thea Hell, 24 out of 99 on the auto. Welcome back, Thea. Sami Zayn on the Anu Silver Premier die cut of Scott Steiner. China. Ivy Nile on the tricolor. Ringside of Kevin Nash. Rhea Ripley on the Sensations. Sonya Deville. 245 out of 249. Ringside of Stephanie Vaquero, the second one we pulled this break. Shout out to the Stephanie spot. Kevin Owens, 190 out of 199. Shayna Baszler, freshly fired on the auto. And Nikolai Volkov. Yeah, but Buff was the stuff. Buff was on the stuff. Turbocharger Dom Mysterio, Stax Lorenzo. Rhea Bloody Ripley, 11 out of 99 on the Sensations. Wendy Richer. Jimmy Uso. This is 51 out of 175. Kofi Kingston, 59 out of 75. Braun Strowman on the swatches, 26 out of 99. Nice little scratch and sniff there. And Sol Ruka on the silver premiere. Alright, that is our break. No cap recap on the way. Gonna be a gang of hits, man. So we'll get through those. Get over to our Pop Century. Hey, that's fire. Look at that. See that? This is what happens when your card mess high, folks. Kendrick's one of our best, one of our favorites. And look what happens. The Cardma, the CGs, they love him. They bless him. We did anything for him in a break. We sent him some packs. Those packs produced the cards that he just mentioned right now. And look what happens. Cardma is a real thing. Hope yours is high. Alright, here we go. No cap recap. To 249. Sonya Deville, Triple H, AJ Styles, Nia Jax, Gerald Briscoe, Adriana Rizzo, Cora Jade, and Undertaker. To 199. Kevin Owens, Baron Corbin, Don Morocco, The Rock, Sami Zayn, Montez Ford, Obafemi, Miss Elizabeth, and Alundra Blaze. To 175. Jimmy Uso, Dude Love, Kane, Bradshaw, and LA Knight. Yeah! To 149. It's a lot of these. Asuka, LA Knight, Riley Osborne, John Cena, Scott Hall, Kevin Owens, Undertaker, Tonga Loa, Lola Vice, Rhea Ripley, Psycho Sid, Drew McIntyre, Becky Lynch, Dragon Lee. The ball keeps rolling. Cora Jade, Ultimate Warrior, Bret Hart, Eddie Guerrero, Braun Strowman, Roddy Piper, Alexa Bliss, Trick Williams, Karrion Kross, Mankind, Ilya Dragunov, The Rock, Trish Stratus, Yokozuna, Dom Mysterio, Kurt Angle, Liv Morgan, Lita, Austin Theory, Shawn Michaels, and Bobby Lashley. All of those are to 149. Our hits to 125. No problem, Brian. Appreciate you. Katana Chance, Adriana Rizzo, CM Punk, Maxine Dupree, and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Autos are as follows, all non-numbered. Shayna Baszler, Lexis King, Redemption of Roxanne Perez, Ilya Dragunov, Redemption of Naomi, Michael Satomura, Duke Hudson, Ted DiBiase, Otis, and Ilya Dragunov on a second ringside. Our hits to 99. Braun Strowman on the swatches. Rhea Ripley, Thea Hell, auto. Katana Chance, auto. Bret Hart, John Cena, Rocky Johnson, Jakara Jackson on the auto. Andre Chase, Fit Finley, both of those are autos. Cody Rhodes, Jake Roberts, Redemption of Becky Lynch, Obafemi, swatches of Raquel Rodriguez, Damian Priest on the auto, Sonya Deville, Mark Coffey auto, Wesley, Dom Mysterio, and Bianca Belair, both of those are autos as well. Scott Hall, Dusty Rhodes, Godfather, Ken Shamrock, Hogan, Isla Dawn, Ultimate Warrior, Jakara Jackson, Finn Balor, Ricky Steamboat, Chad Gable, Gene Okerlund, Randy Orton, Doc Hendricks, Charlotte Flair, Kane, Bray Wyatt, Jade Cargill, Tori Wilson, Rick Steiner, Gorilla Monsoon, The Miz, Becky Lynch, Rob Van Dam, and Bradshaw. More hits to 99. Luca Crucifino, Big E, Mr. Perfect, Hulk Hogan, Superstar Billy Graham, Austin Theory, Carmen Petrovich, Scarlett, Asuka, Diesel, Andrade, Tatanka, Tiffany Stratton, Ethan Page, Riley Osborne, Sheamus, Ravishing Rick Rude. And our final stack of cards to 99. Jey Uso, Sid Vicious, Jim Neidhart, Sami Zayn, LA Knight, JD McDonough, Noam Dar, Undertaker, Road Dogg, Ilya Dragunov, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Bautista, Charles Dempsey, Bam Bam Bigelow, Candice LeRae, British Bulldog, The Rock, and Tegan Knox. 275. Kofi Kingston, Tyler Breeze, and Howard Finkel. Our hits 249. Redemption of Jimmy Uso, Norman Smiley, Tank Ledger on the auto, Lyra Valkyria, Tatanka, Sheamus, Jakara Jackson, Chad Gable, Dusty Rhodes, Godfather, Andrade, Jim Neidhart, Bray Wyatt, Hogan, Sami Zayn, JD McDonough, X-Pac. More hits to 49. Terry Funk, Finn Balor, Ricky Steamboat, Tiffany Stratton, Riley Osborne, Ethan Page, Rick Rude, Jey Uso, Sid Vicious, Isla Dawn, Ken Shamrock, Ultimate Warrior, Tori Wilson, Jay Cargill, and Rick Steiner. Our casers. Silver ringside of The Rock, silver ringside of Paul Heyman, zebra of Liv Morgan, and artistic selections of Charlotte Flair. Couple ringside autos to 35, Ilya Dragunov and Roxanne Perez. Our tie-dye party, Lyra Valkyria on the auto, Hurricane, Umaga, Rich Holland on the auto, and Ultimate Warrior. And our gold gang, all of our hits to 10, Jake Roberts, Nikita Lyons, B-Fab on the auto, AJ Styles on the redemption, Axiom, JC Jane, Lex Luger, Blair Davenport, Zelina Vega, Teddy Long, Roxanne Perez, Becky Lynch, and LA Knight. Yeah! And that is our break. Thank you guys for your patience, understanding, and the participation in the wrestling break. I'm going to shut this down, set up for our leaf, and start that on the next live that you see when it pops up on your screen. So have a good night. We'll see you on the other side.